Chapter 25, An Unsettling Development. The Rising Phoenix Hotel was bustling with activity as Ben and Raymond found a quiet corner in the bar. The dimly lit space was filled with the clinking of glasses and the murmur of conversations, providing the perfect cover for their discreet meeting. Raymond had journeyed to the 6 other branches of the Rising Phoenix in search of any information that might prove helpful to David's protection. His network of information and his knack for being in the right place at the right time had provided opportunities for the Hall family to position itself advantageously when William and Bethany Hall were still alive. But today, Raymond had a grim expression as he shared his latest findings with Ben. "I wasn't able to find much that could be linked to threats to David," Raymond admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. "But I've been hearing rumors." Ben's brow furrowed. "Rumors?" Raymond nodded. "Rumors that the Amos family plans to expand their operations into Dalton." A chill ran down Ben's spine. The Amos family was notorious in the criminal world. Their ruthless tactics and their insatiable greed for power were well known. And now they were moving into Dalton, the city where David was trying to build a new life. The implications were unsettling. The Amos family's expansion into Dalton could spell trouble for the entire city. Given the family's reputation, it won't be long before they try to control every aspect of the city's operations. And if David somehow got in their way... Raymond seemed to read his mind. "I know what you're thinking, Ben, and I share your concerns. David could be in danger if he crosses paths with the Amos family." They sat in contemplation for a moment, the gravity of the situation sinking in. The last thing they wanted was for David to get entangled with the Amos family. He had finally managed to break free from his old life and was on the path to creating a new one. Ben had thought that keeping David in the dark would keep him safe. Until Ben solved the mystery of who could have been powerful enough to kill William and Bethany, and why, it seemed better to limit David's association with the Hall family empire. But now it would appear that his life might be endangered anyway. "Do you have any idea why the Amos family is expanding here?" he asked, searching for any insight that could help them protect David from this impending threat. Raymond shook his head, his expression grave. "I don't have any concrete information yet," he admitted, "but knowing them, it's all about power and control. Dalton is a thriving city with plenty of opportunities. It was only a matter of time before they tried to seize it." Ben rubbed his temples, trying to make sense of the situation. "I suppose with the old families back in power, there isn't much keeping anyone from trying to elbow their way into the city," Ben said, his voice heavy with concern. Suddenly, a memory flashed in Ben's mind. Raymond had mentioned something about being followed. "Raymond," he said, his voice grave, "what happened regarding that man who was following you to the other hotel branches? Could he be related to the Amos family's plot?" Raymond shifted uncomfortably in his seat. "Unfortunately, I wasn't able to discern the mysterious person's intentions. I also wasn't able to confront him," he said, his voice laced with a hint of frustration. "He may be related to the Amos family's movement into Dalton, but at this point, it's merely speculation." Ben sighed deeply and took a sip of his old-fashioned. "It seems all we can do is wait," he said, a sense of resignation in his voice. "I'm expecting to hear from James Rutter in 2 days. Hopefully he'll have more information." "The James Rutter?" Raymond asked, surprise flickering in his eyes. "As in the guard of the Jang family?" "Yes, the very same," Ben confirmed. "With his connections and knowledge, he might be able to provide us with the information we need." Raymond gave Ben a look of concern. "Ben," he began cautiously, "please excuse me if I'm speaking out of turn here, but I can't help but wonder about something." Does this mean that the Jang family is getting involved? Ben gave a slight nod of confirmation, and Raymond continued. I know that William and Bethany were very close with the Jangs, and that there were talks of the two empires joining through their heirs. Do you think it might be time to reveal to them that David is still alive? Ben frowned as he considered the question. I'll be honest, Raymond, I don't know, he confessed. The Jang family's involvement could be a game changer, but it could also complicate things. For now, our priority should be to gather as much information as possible and proceed cautiously. They sat in silence for a moment, both of them deep in thought. Perhaps we should consider increasing the number of guards for David, given the potential threat of him crossing paths with the Amos family, Raymond suggested. It might keep him safe until we hear more from James. Ben nodded in agreement. I considered it, Raymond. Thankfully, it seems that David isn't roaming the city much. He's taken up a job at a small grocery store nearby and has been working many shifts there. It's been relatively easy to keep track of his whereabouts. Not to mention, I installed a tracker on the phone I gave him as a safety measure. Plus, I stationed extra men and women in the vicinity a few days ago. They're keeping watch over David and will handle any suspicious characters who may interact with him. Raymond drew a long breath, relaxing slightly. That's a relief, he said as he reached for his drink. That should be enough to keep him safe for now.